welcome back to Take a Sip podcast. I'm Leche.
And I'm Tito.
All right, Tito. Same as usual every week. What are you drinking today, dude?
Before I tell you what I'm drinking, can you please tell me what your shirt says?
Oh, fuck.
It says,
you can't
drink all day if you don't, if you don't start in the morning?
Literally, that's gonna be me tomorrow, dude.
I just saw that like right now, last second before we
I'll be bought me this shirt a couple years back, and I forgot I had it. I literally just pulled it out from like thin air in the back.
Oh, dope.
How to wear it today? Oh shit!
Gosh. But yeah, going off of that, I'm drinking the same thing I had last week, just Screwball and Kahlua with a little bit of milk.
Mm. Oh yeah, dude. I wish I had more Screwball, bro. No, I need more Kahlua. I have Screwball.
Kahlua?
Yeah, no, I need Kahlua for sure.
I think I just want to try Kahlua, like, not Kahlua, Screwball, just like on the rocks. You got me?
We did, remember? Maybe you don't remember.
No, we took a little shot of it just to taste it out, but we never just drank it like that, like chilled.
I don't know. No,
or just whatever.
Can't have that for sure, dude.
Yes, you can. But what are you drinking?
I am drinking apple cider. Since we went apple picking on Sunday.
That's right.
My dad brought like a gallon of apple cider back because Emmy loved it. So we mixed it in with her water, like 10% apple juice with like 90% water. And she chugs it down, dude. She gets mad when you take the bottle away from her. Like she really, really loved it. So
oh god, y'all got her addicted.
It's good. I mean, it's natural, you know?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
For people who don't know, Emmy is Leche's brother's baby daughter. I don't think we ever spoke about her.
No.
We brought her up here and there, but like, yeah.
Keep it on the low.
Our baby niece.
Yes, our baby niece.
Technically my second cousin or whatever, my third cousin. I don't know how people say that.
I don't know how it goes with the placement stuff.
Yeah. Our family, we just say, that's my niece, that's my nephew.
But yeah, dude, we have interesting stories, a lot of games, bro. Like we're continuing on from like last week of like, you know, the last 2 weeks of news-filled shit. Like crazy news. There's so much hype, don't get me wrong. Some letdowns as well on some pushback on certain games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's start with the bad news, right? Because there's so much good stuff coming. Let's start with at least in my opinion, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for it, but at the same time, optimistically hesitant on like how it looks. I'm not a big fan on the look.
Yeah, because of all the revamps recently as well. Yeah, they haven't been doing as well.
So, who made this? I don't want to open up the trailer again. Is it Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu.
Okay, so Hulu, I guess had the right to make the movie or revamp of Hellraiser. For people who do not know what Hellraiser is, pretty much, it's the classic horror movie with Pinhead.
Yes.
The classic one with the guy with the actual nails on his head and shit like that.
Yes.
People who don't know horror culture for sure. So I want to hear your take on this, Tito. I know you had some, like, it looked good for you.
So, like you said, visually it's very appealing because it did get that new revamp energy that we've gotten recently with like Candyman and Texas Chainsaw and even Chucky, you get me? But now you said going, like, not saying all of that, this is where the optimism comes into it, because we all now know how those films did, that most of them were flops in what they were trying to be, or like trying to start the whole series for these famous horror characters. That's where I'm gonna go this way. I'm not gonna watch it, but I am definitely gonna like see little clips here and there, find reviews.
I'm probably gonna try to watch this one for sure, because Pinhead was why I keep saying Pinhead. Hellraiser, the first like 2 were really, really good. 3, after 3, you lost me for sure.
Yeah.
But the first 2 were really, really good. It was one of those, like, back in the day, they were considered indie horror pretty much, but they became a name state and literally became synonymous with, because of the iconic fucking I forgot what they're called, the Deadlights I said or something like that. But they because of Pinhead and his crew and stuff like that, because of their designs and shit like that.
Yeah.
So they became iconic in that sense because, yeah, just the way they looked, because they look ridiculous. And it was literally, I want to say, it was the modern time. It was back then how we got Saw in the early 2000s, pretty much. It was gore porn, if you want to call it like that.
Yes.
You know, I hate saying it like that, but it was gore porn.
No, that's exactly what it is. And even still, compared to the original Hellraisers that we saw, those creatures, they were very tamer when they originally came out in 87. Obviously, like the long, tame, but like
compared to this one's they're definitely tame.
Like in the original, they had like these leather long cloak jacket type of thing, almost BDSM like. Where here now they seem to be more nude in a way, almost looking like demigorgons walking on their back 2 feet.
Yeah, they definitely look more perverted, pretty much, in the sense of like they actually show like ripped skin and all that.
Their open wounds, yeah.
Like just the crazy shit that I think we're used to now, that we're numb to seeing in movies, horror movies. I don't want to say used to, because it literally is numbing now.
Yes.
At this point for movies like this, unfortunately.
Yes.
Us as a society has pretty much downgraded in that sense.
I'm just also more interested to see the kills anyways.
Yeah, I think this is what this movie has, right? It has creative kills for sure, because like the whole point of the movie is like, right, it's like supernatural beings. Like the puzzle, you do like a puzzle, that puzzle opens a gateway to hell. And the reason why you're doing the puzzle is because you want to give up your life, because you're so overwhelmed with pleasure and like other, just, other stuff like that. I think it's like pretty much like a deadly sin type of shit.
Yeah.
You're so overwhelmed with like either greed or gluttony and all that other
sloth,
stuff.
Gluttony, envy, pride,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they promise you, quote unquote, like, oh, we'll give you salvation. Yeah, or that.
And by salvation, it's just the eternity of
pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering, yeah. To get your mind away from that sin that is enveloped in you.
It's crazy that it really mounts to that. Don't get me wrong, story-wise, they got a good story. Don't fuck it up, right?
Yeah, that's always the thing, but
that's always the thing, man.
Again,
the story's there. It's literally written down for you. You just gotta modernize it. Make sure you got some good actors, get some good background story. You literally have background story for you already written. You just gotta play it out in the movie.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
And again, like you said, modernize it to an extent. You got me, because now, yes. Well, don't make it cringy.
Don't make it cringy, just like the Texas Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw
is a good example.
You're gonna get canceled, bro, on the fucking bus. And then how fucking Chucky completely ends up just becoming an animatronic that goes haywire.
Well, the Chucky movie was actually not that bad.
True, but it's not.
That was the way to modernize it, like to make it more modern, for sure. Because kids nowadays, they won't play with dolls, you got me? Unless there's some electronic, in it. Yeah, so they did make it for the day and age of what we're doing now.
You said it there. Some sort of an electronic. They made Chucky a complete fucking robot. You got me? At that point, you're not making Chucky 2.0. At that point, you're making iRobot. like, am I
pretty
wrong?
much, yeah.
But I don't know.
Just a rated R iRobot.
Yes. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure we said it. This is gonna be one of those things that it's high hopes, but going in very optimistically into. Because I mean, like you said, it's
like holding your reserves on it just to see, like, oh, I hope it's good.
It's an icon horror staple for a lot of adults. You get me? So
yeah, so we'll see how they do, man. Honestly, we'll see. Pinhead, just on the image alone, not a huge fan, but maybe I need to see it more in action. You get me?
Yeah,
more in action.
And I know these are like demon creatures or whatever. It's just a complete 180 from seeing like the older, very masculine Pinhead that we know.
Yeah.
To a very more.
Did they make it a female?
I don't know if it's a complete female, but it's very slender and a lot more feminine facial features.
No lie, you know what it looks like? Now looking at it now, the trailer again, looks like the Colossus Titan or the Armor Titan from fucking Attack on Titan.
Oh my god, yes! Now that you say it.
The body, I'm like, oh, that's a good.
This is what Attack on Titan needed. They needed this draw
up. Real life. This is a good way to go as a draft, honestly.
Oh,
subject for that movie in the future.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't. Do we know how many full Hellraisers there are?
There's a lot.
There's a lot, right? And here we only visually see 3.
Oh, how many like Deadites? I think that's what they're called. Deadites.
I forget what they're called.
There is in the original one. There was 4.
4, right? Yeah, and then
Pinhead was the most famous one. There was a girl, and then there was 2 other ones.
Oh, okay. And then here we only saw 3
Deadites.
Yes,
like 3 different other than Pinhead.
No, we including Pinhead.
Oh, so 1. Okay,
so we're still visually missing 1. Unless, again, they're changing up the story just for it to be 3.
It could be just Pinhead himself. Herself, himself, I don't know. I don't want to...
Themselves, if
you will.
Well, I mean, we still visually see 2 other ones. One that has like a full leathery type of body, black tar body. Yeah.
What time? Stamp it on it? I see. Oh, actually...
I only saw 2 there. I don't know if the third one shows up
on
before
on 123. I think that might be one right there. Looking at another one, or looking in the mirror at 124. Sorry, or 123. So that's a Deadite right there. That's one of them. That looks creepy. I won't look.
Oh, okay. So there is 4. Yeah, that weird alien looking one.
Yeah.
Then the 2 in the tunnels at like 110. And then the actual Pinhead that we know of. So yeah, there's still 4 of them.
Yeah, you got me with that. So it is 4 of them, probably. Okay. I hope the story is good. Hopefully they don't undermine the story.
Yeah.
Because, you could have all these visual shit, all these great looking characters and all that, but if the story is incoherent, there's no point to, put out all that good look or... that good visual effects and all that stuff.
Exactly.
If the story's not there. I think I'm more they don't fuck up the story. That's what I'm more worried about. I don't give a fuck if the kills look goofy or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the fucking franchise.
Yeah. Sure.
But
we'll see. But yeah, I mean that's always the thing. And I feel like we've already spoken about that so much too, like with other films where it's like you have the story, follow the guideline, and then just adjust and tweak. You get me? Like that's what we have. That's the whole thing right now that we said last week for The Little Mermaid. That I've been saying for like Percy Jackson and even BioShock. You get me? And like, yeah, BioShock's not a linear story, but it gives a great guideline of the time, the era, the atmosphere.
So BioShock, I forgot they're making a show, right? Not a movie.
I think it's a movie.
See, that's going to be tough because they have so much lore. How are they going to jam that, even if they're following only one game, right? There's a lot of lore revolving it. So I'm just a little concerned about it.
But I'm saying, like, if that goes well, if BioShock 1 goes, you got me, like, you could start off a story there.
The story's there, at least, as long as they follow, like, the main overarching story. Maybe it doesn't even take place of like actual Bioshock. Like we're not following like the guy, you know, we're not even following Fontaine or anything like that. We're not following Atlas or anything like that.
Yeah.
It could be some side story of just of a regular family going in down there, and then the whole situation, you know, fucking, you know, collapses and shit. And then we're seeing, you know, stuff like that. I'm okay with that too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you still have the guideline there of
like the world's still there. The world is still there.
Yes. Yeah. So
like it's a side story within the world of,
exactly.
or the universe,
or even like a prequel to like the Bioshock that we originally know.
Oh, for this Hellraiser too. Now going back, you know, backtracking to that a little bit because we're going off tangent here.
Yeah.
I hope they do that too. Like, not like, pretty much nods to the old ones. To the classic one, at least. You get me? Like nods to that or anything like that. I hope they do that too because I think that's always good. And maybe this, like you said, maybe this is a side story. Maybe this is just them updating them, but at the same time, it's like, oh, everything prior to what happened in the old series is, you know, up to date with this one.
Yeah.
You get me? Or they can retcon all of them and just fucking, this is a new one entirely.
Oh, true. True. Yeah. Because, I mean, technically it's been 4 decades since the original. So, yeah, it could just be like, oh, same creatures, just new story. But still at least give the same idea and atmosphere that we know.
The characters are still the same. Like, villains are still the same. Just different universe, if you want to say.
See.
Yeah, we took a long time on that story, for sure. More than what I wanted, for sure.
But it's what we know. It's what we grew up with. You got me, and that's what like
maybe because I'm a big thing when it comes to horror movies. That's why. Yeah,
and I have to be because I now work in Salem. Conveniently,
it works out.
Oh god, October's gonna be fucking hell for me over there.
Hell yeah, dude! I can't wait. You know, quick off tangent thing off the records here.
Yeah.
I already got my costume for Halloween.
Do you?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
Dude, I want to show you after
off air.
Offline.
Oh god.
I'll take a picture and send it on the gram. Nah, it'll be too early. All right, going back to games, right? That's the big next section now.
What we're all really here for.
So let's start out with, I think, the most exciting story for sure. At least I'm excited to continue on seeing where this is going.
Yes.
Multiple of our friends are literally excited to play it. I'm not going to play it myself because, one, I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't even play it if I wanted to. But we are talking about God of War Ragnarok, dude. Especially because they gave us a story trailer to go off of now. So we know where the story's going, and we got some sneak peeks pretty much of what entails and all that stuff. So that's pretty fucking exciting.
I'm, like you said, I can't play this game. I don't have a PlayStation. I'm currently not really looking into buying a new gen type of system right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
But I have watched all the previous gameplays before. The story is so good. The fact that this is more Atreus focused than it is actual
Kratos.
Thank you. Kratos focused.
You were looking for it for
sure. Like I'm excited about that. You got me? Because now, we have God of War Kratos. This is his spawn. We're seeing Atreus go down an entirely new different path. And if something were to happen to Kratos, that might trigger Atreus to become the next God of War, still allowing this whole franchise to continue. You got me? Just now another type of character.
I think that's what it's going to boil down to, in my opinion, right? At some point, I know we love fucking seeing Kratos just fucking go at it, right?
Oh, 100%.
And he's pretty much, I think essentially at this point, he's immortal. But at the same time, it will get, I don't think it'll get stale because the way they're doing it. Their storytelling is amazing, honestly. They're doing a great job on that aspect for this character and for the story, for the game in general. But I can see this being, oh, what the fuck? I didn't see this in the trailer originally. Fucking shot down in an eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that part until now. But yeah, I forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, I'm just excited to see where the story goes. I know this is gonna take place with Norse gods now. Am I
Well,
correct?
we've been with Norse since
Norse.
last game, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we fought like
Oh yeah,
the
Thor's
Thunder
sons and
Brothers,
stuff.
yeah, Thor's sons. We had Freya. What we're assuming is Loki.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and that's
So now
another
we're
thing.
gonna play actual Thor potentially. Maybe we
Actual
get
Thor.
into Odin as well and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So who knows where the story leads to that point? But we know we're still in Norse mythology now.
Yes.
And I wonder maybe they throw a curveball and throw different, gods and goddesses in there too.
Well, that's what I'm
In
saying.
the future sense, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing I love about this whole franchise. You got me? Because normally when we talk about Greek mythology and Norse mythology and Roman, they're all separate entities in their own worlds. You get me? They don't exist within their own planes. Where here, like we saw in the last God of War, when he's like in that hell area, he sees Zeus in the clouds right before he starts fighting like these Norse creatures. So we know there's some sort of connection in these worlds between them. So that'd be interesting to see that one day your Thor is there and then the actual God of Lightning Zeus shows up and shit. And it's like the thunder off, but I don't know. I'm again, and it's just so much. The trailer is so well made, as always. Um, like you said, the whole sequence of shooting down a fucking eclipse. Atreus has like some weird spirit animal with him now too that like chased that arrow as he shot it down, or I don't know if it's some other sort of ability. We see a whole bunch of new creatures. We're underwater in some scenes. It seemed like some giant flying jellyfish. I don't know exactly what mythology that comes
Yeah, I
from.
don't know where that's coming from, honestly.
But it's always exciting to see some older faces, newer faces. I don't know. It's a lot. The whole trailer's a lot.
Dude,
I
yeah.
understand now why Andres has watched it like 25,000
Yeah,
times at
there's a
this
lot to
point.
unpack for sure. I'm like, now I understand why he wanted us to watch it so many times. But at the same
Hmm.
time, he's super hyped about it. Out of all of us, he's literally the one that's like super amped about it.
Yeah.
Which if he, like I told him too, like if he streams it, he should definitely let me know because I want to watch.
Yes.
But yeah, dude. I mean, going from dude, this is just nothing but good fucking storage now for games, dude. Nothing but good shit, honestly. Um, Continue on the good gravy train, right? Um, we're gonna go into, I believe we actually got word when the Resident Evil 4 remake is coming out, right? So Capcom did their uh Resident Evil showcase a couple of weeks back, or I think it was like 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago at this point.
No, so sorry.
Yeah, go for it. No.
So Capcom announced that they will be having a Resident Evil showcase in
Oh,
October.
in October,
In
right? Okay.
October. So that's
Maybe
just
that's what I'm misreading here.
yeah, so that's just a few weeks away.
Mm,
In that they discussed the upcoming DLC for RE Village.
right, the
Um,
Winter's expansion. Yeah.
yes. It should be coming next month as well. And they also confirmed the remake for RE4, which they also announced Yoshiaki Hirabayashi to be the producer for that game, strictly for PlayStation 4, but we obviously knew that.
Exclusivity, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but with the
not good.
yeah, but with the remake of RE4, um, I believe they're just announcing it just for new gens, so the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, and PCs, obviously. No word about old gen, but there is a slight possibility that it should be coming out for PS4, but not Xbox One.
That would suck. Honestly, that would be like, wow, dude. I mean, fuck it, unfortunate, dude.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah, I mean, super crazy. Good updates coming, honestly. So, like, the whole getting the third person gameplay for Resident Evil is pretty dope. And then on top of that, getting the new DLC story bit of Rose, the continuation from where we left off from Village after Ethan died, is pretty cool in my opinion as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking forward to see where that goes and how the story continues. Because dude, that game was really fucking good. I don't know if you watched the entire gameplay. Did you?
For Village?
Yeah, really.
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched the whole thing.
Insane, dude. Yeah, dude. So I'm really hyped on that end because I want to know what happens afterwards. What happens with Rose and all that stuff. I know she probably picked up abilities from the last game. Um, but yeah, so Resident Evil 4, not Rough 4, sorry, the DLC, Winter's expansion for Resident Evil Village will be coming out October 28th, and it will be available for all systems when it goes live for sure. So that's pretty exciting. Can't wait for that. Saying that, we'll probably take a little small break here. And we're back from that short break real quick. Going to the next story, dude. Yo, crazy shit, dude. Nintendo blew it out of the park, and they're literally they named so many upcoming games and stuff like that this year. More games that I was very surprised. I think the biggest one, at least for our part, because nostalgia for Nintendo is huge for us, in my opinion, for sure, is that they announced that they're bringing more Nintendo 64 games to the Switch Online series, dude. A few titles, literally small titles, right? GoldenEye and Pokemon Stadium.
Yes.
To name a few, right? Just to name those two in particular, because I think those two are probably the biggest hitters that they're bringing to pretty much to Switch Online, which is insane.
And like you said, they've been naming a whole bunch of games, both like indie games, original Nintendo games, and then bringing back these old games is just a whole other thing on its own, right? Like, because these aren't the first ones they brought back. There's already a whole bunch of old retro games that are already available for the Switch. For the Switch. So
like Mario 64.
Exactly.
Star Fox and all that stuff.
Yeah, so now bringing back the old school games. Like you said, GoldenEye. I know that was like the first FPS shooter for a bunch of people.
Yeah, that's true.
There's that one. I know Pokemon Stadium. That was a big staple for us growing up. A whole bunch of games and memories with that. And even still bringing back the original Mario parties, both 1 and 2 as well, with these other games that you just mentioned. Like, they're just going up. They're going up.
I mean, they gave us so much news, dude. So I know we didn't post it on the site, dude. Just to name a few that they're the games that they literally said, like, yo, we're just going to show you like updates on where it's going, where it's coming from. So they gave us another trailer for Bayonetta 3. Of course, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. But they gave us another update that it's, on its way. Same thing with Pokemon, freaking Scarlet and Violet, dude. They gave us another update on that, which is crazy. They did tease, they gave us, I believe, The Legend of Zelda. They gave us an actual, what is it called? Date of the new one that's coming out.
Oh, really?
Yes. It is called Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, and they already gave us a release date and everything, May 12th, 2023.
Oh wow!
So I'm like, wow, dude, they really did it. They also gave us a new another game, Pikmin. I don't know if you remember that, of the little guy with the helmet shooting the little weird
flower
guys, the flower things. Yeah. but they're creating Pikmin 4 as well. So those were, I think, the two biggest things that they literally uncovered for Nintendo, like things we didn't expect to see this year for sure. We thought it was going to be simple, just plain updates and stuff like that. Maybe, excuse me, maybe even an update on where like Kingdom's Heart was and all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, Nintendo killed it out of the park for their pretty much segment of like game updates and all that stuff. So it's been kind of wild on their end.
Yeah, 100% sure. And like, I mean, that's how speechless I am because it's like the Bayonetta trailers were fucking incredible. Pikmin was already a fun game. There's not really much visually to that, but it's still visually appealing in its own way.
Yeah.
And then bringing back old school games, keeping that retro feel, but still updating it so it's not so hard on the eyes like it used to be. Like,
on top of GoldenEye coming back to Nintendo Switch, they're also creating a multiplayer for it as well. Online multiplayer.
Well, yeah, it was a multiplayer, wasn't it?
It was, but it was split screen back in the day.
Yeah,
it was on the 64, dude.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I meant though. So it had a multiplayer mode to it.
No, but there's like a
but now there's an online multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I would expect. I would hope
that's the only one I've heard news about that's gone like something new added to it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Kind of wild, dude. Nintendo literally killed it out of the park.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, including that update, of course, we have other companies that have their major updates. For example, I'll let you take this next one for sure, because I know you're more hyped than anything else on this one. When anytime we get news about this, you're like,
well,
yeah, on it.
The hype is slowly dying down, to be very honest with you. And that's one of the controversies already within itself. Like Overwatch 2. Yes, we know it's coming. I believe October 4th is when Overwatch 2 should be online, free to play for everybody. Battle Pass style type of thing. You have to purchase the Battle Pass to be able to unlock the new upcoming characters that they're going to be releasing. That's the main controversy. Right?
I think that is... Depends on how you look on it, right? It makes sense it being part of the Battle Pass because it entices you to buy the Battle Pass. But at the same time, if it's like game changer characters, you get me? If they're like mega OP, you're kind of fucked because if you don't get the Battle Pass, you're going to be in a disadvantage. And I think that's everyone's worried, and rightfully so in a game like that.
Yeah, so. And the whole point of Overwatch, what they were doing before, is that the point of Overwatch is in a lot of these style of games where you go 5v5, 6v6, whatever it may be, like in Smite, for instance, and League of Legends, you choose your character, you're locked into that character the whole time.
The whole fight.
The whole point of Overwatch is that the meta could change. The whole point of being able to die, switch a new character, and you're out and about helping with that new character, switching and advancing with whatever the enemy team is switching to, right? That's the whole point of it. But now if, like you said, you don't buy the battle pass or you don't put enough time to unlock these new characters, you're in a team fight and your team is asking you, hey, switch to this character. Oh, I don't have it unlocked, but I have this character. And it's like, no, that's not going to work. Like, this character is a direct counter.
Like this is a perfect counter to that one and stuff like that. It just strategically really like makes the whole team disadvantaged.
Yes.
When even one person doesn't have it.
Yeah. So there's just that. Especially now too, that the only real locking of status is if you're locked into tanks, DPS, or support.
So the only way I think that they can make this work in retrospect is, of course, like, unlock it instantly with the battle pass type of shit.
Yeah.
But then like make it early access or make it not ridiculously, long to get it if you have to work towards the character, right?
Exactly. Like make it a couple of missions that you have to slowly do to unlock it, not
Yeah,
a
don't make
part
it
of the
obscene
entire
like,
battle
oh,
pass.
win 50 matches and then, win 10 matches with this character, this character, this character, this, just
Yeah,
that would just get ridiculous. And that seems hours on end just to unlock one character. You get me?
exactly.
And they're bringing what, like 3 characters, right?
For this first season, I believe so. Then as
Yeah.
that goes on,
Can you
or the
imagine
first
if they
three,
did that
yeah,
for each character? Like you can only do one at a time, and you have to win a certain amount of matches, or you have to do certain ability crutches on whatever character, or spam like, oh, heal your team by like this many points, 2 million,
yeah.
stuff like that. That's going to be obscenely grindy. Some
Well,
people want that. Don't get me wrong. Some
well,
people will
yeah,
do it, but at the same
exactly.
time, for like, I'm not trying to cater to the casuals because I never want to do that. Because casuals, in my opinion, because I'm a hardcore player myself, kind of not ruin the experience, but because of them complaining, it really kind of ruins the experience for the middle and higher tier people who play. You get me?
Yeah. No, and I completely understand that. It's just I don't. There's whether we cater to one or the other, there's always going to be some sort of backlash, right?
Always, always
There's always that. There's no satisfying the full
community.
group, the full community, but even still, then, like I said, the hype for Overwatch has died down so much because of how long we've already been waiting for Overwatch 2 since the initial
Timeline, right?
since in
I remember they first teased it back in like 2018, probably even sooner than that.
yeah. Yeah.
It's already been 4+ years.
Yeah, and we had like trailers, the whole cinematic thing. People were hyped because we saw like the different costumes for some of the characters and stuff like that. And then, but no release date, which was fine because we're like, okay, we're gonna get it within the next year or two. And then delayed, and then lawsuit, and then companies going down, and then like it
Another
became another what's it called? Cyberpunk in a way. And
with
now
the
that,
massive
yeah,
delays and stuff like that.
yeah. And now that it is free to play, I don't know. We'll see what type of community comes into it and plays it still. Because even
My
now
toxic
too,
ass is coming. Like,
well, maybe because even still, a lot of the community originally left over to Valorant when Valorant came out. You get
yeah, it's
me?
because there was no news. There was like, I know what you mean though, because I know there was a hype when they first like gave the release date and like all the information for Overwatch 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've noticed a lot of people, some of the people that mainly play Overwatch has switched to like Valorant and stuff like
Yeah,
that, or
yeah,
switched to like leagues and stuff. I'm like, oh, dude, they're losing their community, bro. There's gonna be almost nobody left to like play that game,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So we'll see what happens, but the original news that we originally wanted to talk about was that the new character that they announced, the first character that's going to be released in this battle pass, is going to be called, oh my gosh, Otaku? Am I saying that? Oh,
Otaku?
I could be wrong.
No,
Ah,
Otaku.
huh?
I don't know.
I just had the name here. Okay, whatever. But it is another Japanese style character. It is a girl who is a support character. So support characters often have the two triggers. One trigger is for your damage that you constantly do, and your other trigger is for your health, your healing that you do. Um, I'm loving the character because they're taking a lot of kitsune um lore into this type of character, like the fox spirit, if you're not fully aware. Um, which is, in other words, it's like this a simpler version of a Kurama for Naruto. It is a one-tailed fox spirit, not a nine-tailed fox spirit. Um, but yeah, healing. It has a lot of like negating enemy damage for short periods of time to get your team to stick together or come back together, heal up, and then charge forward. Has like a cool teleporting technique where you could teleport to your teammates to be able to support and heal them. Um, which might seem a little broken, you get me, but at the end
Yeah, that seems a little powerful.
it's gonna depend on how much healing the character actually does.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it an amount healing or is it like a percentage healing that some of these characters do?
It's an amount healing.
Okay, so like it's like a flat
it's
we'll
gonna
give
be
you 50,
50
heal
per second, depending on how long you're in.
Type of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depending on how much you're like in the area or getting a direct hit and not just like because I know
percentage wise, because then it gets a little weird.
Oh, percentage
would 10% per fucking second, type of shit.
Yeah, no.
And some characters have more health.
So yeah, that drags it down. That's why I'm pretty sure it's just set numbers.
Because I would choose the lowest health character and just fucking run that shit. You get me?
But then that's when you become squishy compared to your tanks. You get me?
But at the same time with that healer, bro, fuck, I could literally go anywhere, just stick with my healer the entire time and just fucking run down, yo.
Yeah, but it's also gonna
healing my shit by 10% every fucking second, dude. And as long as I'm not getting fucking mowed down by 3 people at a time, then yeah.
Another thing that's also gonna be taken into account is obviously cooldown times. Like, yes, it's super powerful, the teleporting, but now you have a 30-second cooldown before you could use it again.
See, or a 20-second cooldown. Because that's balance right there. Because you get to use this OP move, but then you got to be fucking patient to use it again. You get me?
Yeah. And depending on what type of healer, you either have to be very accurate with the type of shooting they do, or just be sticking around them and hold down the trigger, which is the number one healer, Mercy. But others have like an area of effect. Like if you're near this one, you're constantly getting healed. Or others could just my OG, my main Zenyatta, you could put a healing orb on someone and then just turn around and completely just focus on damage while they're consistently getting healed. But then it's also just paying attention to your other characters and moving that orb back and forth, healing and everything. But I don't know. The character looks cool. The whole cinematic trailer they had for her was very cool too, because they went through some of the costumes. They just didn't show just the basic costume, which is really new and interesting for this. For Blizzard to be doing.
They show like alternative standards.
Yeah, they're not just sticking with the original, which is what everybody was already used to. You got me? The reason I mentioned the whole Japanese thing is because she also has a wall climbing passive ability, which is already very relevant to, oh my god, the other 2 Japanese characters. I forget, why am I forgetting everybody's name right now? Hanzo is one, thank you, and then his brother, which I'm completely just spacing on. Genji. Oh my god, how do you know this more than me? But yes, Hanzo and Genji.
I think those are the only 2 characters I know. And then the fucking ape,
which is
Walter.
Oh my god, you're close, Winston. But yes, Hanzo and Genji have their wall climbing ability, and there's a cool little clip where she is running up the wall alongside them and then just start shooting down.
Adding to some of the controversy as well, I heard this as well. This is what I think one of the biggest things that people are having, the community having a trouble like comprehending it and asking like, why the fuck are they doing this? They're shutting down the original Overwatch.
Yes.
Like their servers and shit to make room for Overwatch 2 specifically. Which I think that's a fucking huge mistake, bro. That's a huge L. You get me? That's a fucking fat L, dude.
And it's funny you mentioned that too, because originally their thing was that Overwatch was still going to be playable. You were still going to be able to get the first like 2 or 3 characters that they released, including Sojourn. Sojourn, the one they preemptively released, and Junker Queen, I believe. Um, and yeah, just to hear that they're now gonna completely shut servers down and then just focus on Overwatch 2, like you said, I believe is a big mistake. I don't know what they're thinking or what they're planning on doing, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because I just think that's not a good idea, in my opinion.
Like maybe later down the line, if they realize that the numbers for Overwatch
Or like really
aren't hitting,
good,
then yeah, it makes sense. Do you get me? That was the whole thing with, I hate going back to this, but with like Bioshock 2. Bioshock 2 for a moment still had like a small community playing the PvP portion of it.
The online shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the community was so low that once they made the whole remake of it, they just shut those servers down.
Yeah, they completely shut them down.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because there was nobody playing it.
No. At this point, it's just a nostalgia game, not really a PvP type of game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's really the last thing I wanted. I think it's a cool character. It's a very cool concept of it.
No,
because you do get like she's very ninja-like. She shoots kunais and she has her talismans that she uses to heal. But yeah,
I think like the characters, their abilities, the work that is put into the game itself is overshadowed by the controversy that the higher ups ruined pretty much, which is unfortunate. You get me?
Yeah.
It's not even the developer's fault. Like the ones that make the game do the actual hard work grinding, making the character look good, making sure nothing's ridiculously OP, make sure everything's balanced and shit like that, or quote unquote balanced. Not their fault when it comes to situations like that, like shutting the servers down. That was a higher ups decision.
100%. Yeah.
Putting that through putting those new characters behind a paywall of a battle pass, that's a higher up decision. I'm pretty sure fucking developers don't want that either. Trust me, they want people to fucking play their games and play it.
Especially when they're spending so much time and energy creating this. It's like, I want it out there now, but I want people playing this character I created. Yeah. Now I have to wait for them to unlock it for them to be able to.
Either that or they have to fucking pour out some fucking hard cash to fucking get it too, which is still unfortunate. You got me?
Yeah.
So,
and even for people who don't play these games, like I don't play Paladins. You get me? But I follow a YouTuber that every time a new character comes out, he's on there playing the new character, and I just want to see what kind of abilities it has, like compared to the other characters. You got me? Same thing with like League or even in Smite. I don't play Smite as often as I used to, but still, a new god comes out, I'll hop on a couple of hours just to try them out.
Yeah, just to see how they go. How they are. Makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, that's really it. Unless you have something else to add, Leche.
Nah, it was just jam packed, dude. These last couple of weeks for sure with news.
Yes. And speaking of crazy past few weeks, next week there will not be an episode for you guys because I will be back in the motherland of Guatemala.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So no episode next week. We'll see about 2 weeks depending on how much I come back jet lagged and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, besides that, where can people find you, Leche?
People can find me on Instagram at Leche or you guys can follow me on Twitch at TechnoFreak95. And how about you, Tito?
I am also on Instagram at OneAlphaPenguin and also on Twitch at OneAlphaPenguin. You guys can follow the podcast on Instagram at takeasip_pod and also on YouTube, youtube.com/takeasip. As always, the social medias are the same throughout all of them. We also have our pictures or logos on there, links in the bottom to our intro and outro song, to all the stuff, just to all the stuff. Same thing with if you're listening to on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts. and any other podcast listening apps. If you check the descriptions, all the links will be in there as well. Yes, but as always, thank you guys so much for listening. Drink some water, have some fun, start pulling up the sweaters. It's getting sweater weather.
Chilly here in the East Coast, yeah.
It's starting to get very chilly. Yeah. But yeah, and as always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you all in like 2-3 weeks.
3 weeks, unfortunately.
All right, bye.
Yeah, guys.